So I guess now we have to it's awkward. No, we're just jump in right now and it's like, oh my god, what are they talking about? Okay, we're back. Okay guys, welcome to the first episode of Hot Topics, which is going to be, well, first couple episodes are going to be Ryan and I talking. If he doesn't want to do it, I might get some other people, but he's definitely So yeah, I'm Austin, this is Ryan. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. And today, we are going to be going over Resistance 3. Now, the Resistance 3 was first, well, everybody knew at the end of Resistance 2 that it was going to have to come out. We'll get into that in a little bit, but it was actually, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's not games actually released the actual preview, not preview. It was actually a live action preview, teaser trailer for it, and had no actual gameplay. But what's interesting is before that, in some of the screenshots for a movie called Battle Los Angeles, there was actually a big poster board that said Resistance 3, and that was really the first indicator that Resistance 3 was coming out.
Not really. This came out like...
No, actually the first screenshots came out first.
What?
Battle Los Angeles.
Oh. Cool.
And it was actually there. It's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. I looked it up. I thought that came out, but that came out in August of 2010. And it's actually scheduled now. Resistance 3 is scheduled for what? September? Yeah, I think it's scheduled for September this year. And I tried to look it up, and some of the big debates that were coming out after the end of Resistance 2, where Capelli shot, what was the main character's name?
Nathan Hale.
Nathan Hale, yeah, in the head.
Yeah.
Because of all the Khmer shit that was going on. But it hasn't been released yet who you're going to be playing as.
No, I think it's pretty safe to believe that it's not going to be Nathan Hale, considering he was just shot in the head. And also, before Resistance 2 ended in that cutscene, you could also see that it wasn't really Nathan Hale, it was Daedalus.
Yeah.
I think. I haven't played that game in a long time, but Daedalus being like the main Chimera.
Yeah. It was like he was the first human infected, right? Was that the whole story?
If I remember correctly, in the beginning of Resistance 1, he was like infected by some infection.
Yeah.
That usually just takes over the person like immediately, but as it keeps going on, he wasn't like affected by it immediately, but he was kind of going through some syndromes of turning into one. So.
Now, I played Resistance 1. I watched you play most of Resistance 2. I didn't play the whole thing. Or I didn't, actually, I think I ended up playing the first 2 levels after you beat it, but then after I watch a game like that, it's generally not fun to go back through it.
Yeah.
But I remember Resistance 1 was really fun. It was like one of the first releases for PlayStation after the PlayStation 3 came out.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun because at the time we only had one PlayStation. And we didn't even actually own the game. We borrowed it from a friend who didn't play it anymore. And we actually beat it really fast because it had a cooperative and you played through the actual single player campaign. That's something that they didn't carry over for Resistance 2. They had a 8-player co-op campaign, but it wasn't the same story.
I don't remember that co-op campaign in that.
It was online. We never played. We played together. I don't know how many players it was on just the single console, but on offline or online it was 8 players, something like that. Maybe 4. I could be wrong. But one thing that's interesting is, and I think this is confirmed, is that they are bringing back the co-op campaign.
That's exciting, because I thought that was one of the coolest things that they put in there.
Yeah, and if you remember, a lot of the weapons are coming back, like the Magnum from Resistance 2. I don't think that was in Resistance 1. That was cool. And then obviously they're bringing back the carbine and the bullseye.
Oh.
And there's some other guns, and then they're adding a couple new ones. One of which was like an acid gun. I assume it's going to act much like a flamethrower would.
Yeah.
And anyways, yeah. Other things. Oh, you remember on Resistance 1, you had the wheel where you could pick all your weapons from?
Yeah. It
was much like, I can't think of the other game. Did Ratchet & Clank have a wheel like that? That was another game developed.
I think they had a wheel.
Yeah, that was really cool because you didn't have to rely on picking up a weapon from one of the Chimera or a soldier.
You had a large list of weapons that you just keep
and then
going through.
in Resistance 2, you had like what? They moved to more like a Call of Duty type controls.
You had like,
and you could carry 2 or 3. I couldn't remember. Well,
I think something like that. Yeah.
2, and then they all had secondary effects.
Well, yeah, that was the same thing in Resistance 1 though. Every gun had a primary attack, I guess you'd say, and then they had a secondary attack.
Yeah, like the carbine, you had a
Grenade launcher.
Grenade launcher, and then the bullseye. The bullseye didn't have like a secondary.
It had a little tracer dart that you shot, and that was
made it more accurate. That was really fun. You just see the thing was you could run out of tracer darts, and then the bullseye just turned into a piece of shit. We just
pretty much.
Yeah, that was fun though. Other things. Multiplayer is, Resistance 1 multiplayer wasn't that fun.
I didn't play either one of them online.
I played Resistance 2 for a while. Like
a week.
Yeah, like a week. Other than that, I don't. They're releasing 16-player multiplayer. They're gonna have team deathmatch and objective-based game modes.
I'm not really looking forward to the multiplayer so much.
No,
I think it's Resistance is mainly it's a single-player game.
I agree.
Mostly.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how many people actually play it multiplayer. I'm sure there are a fan base, but it was one of those first-person shooters that I actually think most first-person shooters nowadays actually stand out for the multiplayer. The developers actually go for multiplayer. That is a huge selling point. But for Resistance, for me, when I think about it, it was actually one of the few single-player campaigns that I'm actually looking forward to.
Oh yeah, I am too. Things like Call of Duty, most first-person shooters, they just kind of bore me when it comes to single-player. But as far as the actual multiplayer compared to the single-player Resistance, the Resistance series, I think that their single-player campaign definitely outshines the multiplayer, which I think is unique.
Yeah,
and I like it. It's a lot of fun. I will play through those campaigns more than once, definitely.
Yeah. I guess when we come back, we'll go ahead and I'll shoot some gameplay real fast for Resistance 2 and show you guys. When we come back, we'll get into more of the multiplayer aspects and some of the things that really stand out, make Resistance a different kind of game. Alright.
Nice work, Sergeant. Command, we've secured.
Guys, we're back, and now we're gonna get
That was
more.
awesome, by the way. What just happened? What happened between what we just said?
I know, like I loved how I shot that one guy and blew the other guy up. I really hope I get gameplay of that. It's gonna happen. Anyways, so I guess what we can talk about now is that's loud.
That actually just scared me a little bit.
Is what do you expect from the actual single player? I mean, do you expect that they'll end the whole storyline, or do you think they'll leave it open for Resistance 4?
It's worrying me out.
You can mute it.
No,
Sure,
that's good.
That's good.
Well, at the end of Resistance 2, it kind of
Can you write these down?
ended with like a cliffhanger. I mean, you had really no idea what was going on. And then Nathan Hale dies, and you're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it was weird because you crash land on the ship from after blowing up some like Chimera huge ship. I don't know. Yeah. And you crash land, and then the whole thing is you're not actually playing, but you're from the perspective of Capelli, and you go out, and Nathan Hale is just looking out, and you look and you see this almost moon-like world, which I don't even know if it's confirmed what that was.
I don't think it has been. Or live action trailers, I guess that's what they're called. I think they're pretty much based on this one guy. Or, I mean, the first guy you see in the trailer. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Nathan Hale is not going to be the person you play as in the next game.
I don't know, since it is live action, I mean, it also could be like your promotional kind of thing. Maybe they don't want to give it away yet. So they're using someone who definitely isn't Capelli. Well, I mean, I don't remember what Capelli looks like, but I don't think it looked similar to that.
So.
They're both bald? I mean, I remember Hale's bald.
Pretty sure he's bald.
Yeah. So...
that's not good.
Damn bald people. Freaking losing their hair. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I think it'd be kind of weird for the last one for them to go in a new direction with a new character. It almost lead that they're going to make a fourth one, from my perspective. I mean, to have two that flow from Nathan Hale completely, and then on the third one completely go away from that, go on a completely different tangent. I mean, obviously the same things would happen. You have Chimera infection and stuff like that. But unless you're going to make a fourth and continue the series on, to introduce a new character is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, we're living in a world, obviously this world is completely fake. So, you know, real laws of physics and human biology don't really matter. So the fact that Nathan Hale was shot in the head, I don't think necessarily confirms that he is out of the picture forever. Even if he doesn't, he may return as maybe the evil villain. You don't know how much the Chimera infection has actually infected him. Anyways, so yeah, I guess what I'm going to say is, I'm really looking forward to Resistance 3. I honestly don't know if they're going to wrap up the series.
I don't think they will.
I think they'll leave it open-ended, but I think that they might, if you do play as Nathan Hale, this will probably be the last game for Nathan Hale.
I don't think so. I think if he comes back in this game, I don't think it's going to be the last time.
Really?
Especially if he comes back as, like, say, a villain. If he comes back as a good guy, which I don't know how that would even be possible considering the ending of Resistance 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see that. Yeah, I just...
FedEx.
Completely random. Anyways, yeah, I think that if this is the last game for the PlayStation 3, I think that'll wrap up the series. And then I think if they end up, since you said Resistance, really the only PS3 exclusives I think of, well, besides Little Big Planet, but in a first-person shooter genre, that is Killzone 3 and...
genre.
What is tripping you up about that word?
You said genre.
So?
Genre. I don't know.
What?
It's general.
Okay, anyways, besides Ryan's randomness, Killzone 3 and then Resistance are the two big first-person shooters of PS3 exclusives. So I guess, I don't know, I think Killzone's dead. I played Killzone 3 for a little bit. I mean, I don't even own it, and it's still, they fixed some of the things, but we are getting so off topic. Anyways, Resistance 3, probably going to be the last one for PlayStation 3. I think then they will reboot the series for PlayStation 4. I'm going to go ahead and say that, and we'll see how it plays. I guess we'll see how Resistance 3 ends. So this is going to wrap it up, and I try not to include spoilers, but this last part was kind of random. So thanks for guys watching.